What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob, doing a Weller foolproof today. That's this bad boy right here. This one is 57% on the dot, 114 proof. Okay, the back label was designed by a friend of ours. His name's Christian. I will put his link below. His artistry is actually really great. He did it in collaboration with Cosmos Liquor. This is a barrel pick down south, or at least south of the Canadian border in the US. Really grateful for Christian to send this bottle to us. He sent one to Jeremy as well, sent it to Jeremy's family's place in Detroit, and then eventually Jeremy brought them up. Long overdue. I actually thought I should do this because recently the LCBO released the Weller 107, a bunch of Blantons that I could care less about, but enough people care about them that the site crashed in order to get these things. I gotta give credit where credit is due. The LCBO actually did a decent job putting up these bottles all online for people to get. Where they fell short, which they're always gonna fall short, but in this case where they fell short was the site couldn't withstand the amount of people that bombarded it to get these bottles, which still blows my mind to this day because literally there was maybe 2 bottles on there that were decent. But I digress. So I figured I'd do this in light of that. There was an E.H. Taylor that I was kind of interested in, but I definitely didn't care to fight thousands of bourbon lovers in order to get it. On the nose. All right, so this one doesn't scream Weller to me, to be honest with you. Usually I get like a super strong vanilla, like caramel note from Weeders. This is very different than anything I've ever nosed from Weller, which is probably why it's put into the barrel selection program. It's different than their usual. A hint of what you would normally expect from like a 107 or even something like a William LaRue Weller. Doesn't have an age statement. I don't know how old these tend to be, but my guess is probably anywhere between 4 and 8 years old, if I had to guess. Nose is nice. The Wellerness, so to speak, is starting to come through a little bit. For those of you that don't know, I'm a fan of Weller. I've always liked Weller stuff. I'm a wheat fan. I'm a wheat bourbon fan. If I'm gonna drink a bourbon, it's likely gonna be a wheater. I always picked William LaRue Weller over the George T. Stagg, just to give you kind of a example of my bourbon preferences. There's a bunch of videos in the archives of us reviewing bourbons. Jeremy and I actually did a blind tasting of George T. Stagg, William LaRue Weller, and a few others somewhere in the archives. I think that's actually on his channel, to be honest with you. Sipper Social Club, if you don't know, which I'm sure you do. Very nice nose. Very approachable. Does not smell like it would be a high ABV bourbon. So, up front, very traditional, barrel proof kind of bourbon notes. Brown sugar, a little bit of vanilla. There's almost a maple syrup kind of note on the finish here, a Quebec maple syrup. Yeah, okay, so overall, it's good. I'm not exactly sure how much these go for nowadays. I don't particularly hunt them down. I know that they're around $400 or $500 on secondary, based on a quick Google search here. I'm hoping that you guys can still get these in the US for the $100 range, but I'd be surprised if you did, to be honest with you. I'd say at 100 US, there's better bourbon for the price than some of these Weller full proofs, but it's hard to say because there's so many variations, there's so many barrels, there's so many picks. Everybody expects to get a honey barrel, and that's not necessarily how the barrel picking process works. So I'm sure just having this label on a shelf in your store is good clout for a liquor store. All that being said, really appreciate Christian sending us these bottles. Really love the collaboration he did here. I'm gonna give you another look. It says Weller World, kind of a play on the old 90s Water World with Kevin Costner on the back of the bottle there. If you could pick one of these up for a decent price, like sub $80, I'd say definitely go ahead. This one's gonna be an 84 for me. I like it, I think it's good. If I could get this between 40 and 80 American, I probably would buy another bottle. More than that, I probably wouldn't, to be honest with you. The 107, for the most part, is just as good as this, if not a little bit better, because it's got a little bit more of that Weller characteristic that I'm looking for in a Weller. Whereas I feel like these barrel proofs, or these barrel picks anyway, they don't technically have that Weller essence that I'm looking for when I'm drinking a Weller bourbon. So all that being said, appreciate you, Christian, thank you very much. But like I said, that's an 84 for me. Good stuff, buy it at a certain price. Exceeding 80 US, I'd probably pass, all right? Hope you liked this video, guys. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you really liked the video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and support this channel on Patreon. Cheers.